SERPENTZA says he loves the Chinese people, but doesn't like the Chinese government. Go about your day, you stupid sheep. That's how he refers to Chinese people. Go about your day, you stupid sheep. This comes right out of his mouth. Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. I try to keep a positive attitude when I'm doing my videos, and you know, they've been getting more positive as I go along. But sometimes I see things on the internet, on YouTube, from people that used to be in China but haven't been for a couple of years. You know, the commentary that SERPENTZA, Winston did here a while back about why he had left China. Oh, I love China. I love Chinese people. I just don't like the Chinese government. Go about your day, you stupid sheep. It's how he refers to Chinese people in this video. You know, it's one of those things that as you watch his videos, you can see that he has a distaste for Chinese people and anything Chinese. Oh, here we go. When you know, he's got some good points and he's got some bad points. I'm going to go through the bad points first, because although I like to do positive videos, sometimes you have to rebuttal what people say about China. And this, I guess, is a rebuttal to why Winston left China. You know, he starts out by saying it's not a safe place to raise a child or to have a family. Well, so he moves to LA from Shenzhen. Well, if you look at the crime statistics, the real crime statistics in LA County compared to Shenzhen, no comparison. If you look at the crime statistics dealing with China as a whole against America as a whole, where you get, you know, like Chicago, 3,000 shootings in a year. How many shootings in China in a year? Probably none, because they don't have guns. But, you know, he goes on to say that the tainted milk, yeah, they had that in China, one company. So the tainted milk taints the whole country of China as bad. Well, those people were punished, and some of them paid some pretty serious fees for what they did. You can read up on that yourself. But you see, it's all a one-sided thing that he's doing here. It's like the rhetoric of the American government. Sure, I know he's shilling for the American government. He's shilling, just like they say I shill for the Chinese. He wants to keep his visas running, his work permits running. Sorry to tell you this, but all of those are temporary. Unless you use your anchor baby for you know, a permanent resident application, or use your wife's educational and work experience background to maybe get her a caregiver job that's you know, one of those jobs that they're looking for more people in the United States to do. Other than that, I know you don't have the qualifications or the work experience for an economic immigration application, but that's beside the point. But once you start spouting you know, the rhetoric, and it is rhetoric, of how you know, China's not a safe place for people. Brings up the stabbings of children in schoolyards, and that is a fact in China. I don't know why they do that. There's some people just go and they go crazy, and that's a phenomenon in China that how do you stop it? Some people just go nuts. You're right on that one, but I would rather have a guy with a knife than a guy with an AR-15 turned into an automatic weapon, walking through a shopping mall, walking through a school, walking anywhere, shooting people at random, as happens in the United States. If you look at how many children are killed, murdered in China in a year, and look at how many children are murdered in the United States every year, the United States has it hands down. Just on gang-related drive-by shootings, they beat China. And China has 4 times the population. You have to understand that. So you would think that the United States, to be in parity with China, would have 4 times less, not 5 or 6 times more, the murders of children. You know what I mean? It's hotter than a $5 pistol. It's August the 1st, and it's like sunny and hot outside. Love it. Anyway, he goes on to say, well, foreigners have no rights in China. If you go up against somebody in court in China, bang, you automatically lose as a foreigner. Roll it back a couple years, guys, and Winston was married to, you got it, the beer girl. All right, and I would imagine that if any woman, any respectable person, female, was married to any respectable guy, the respectable guy would not refer to his wife as the beer girl. So I would imagine during that divorce, he got raked through the court system, and it probably cost him a pretty penny. And the judge would probably look at some of the videos that him and his little sidekick did and say, well, yeah, you disrespected this girl to the point that she couldn't stay married to somebody like you disrespectful person. You know what I mean? So he probably awarded her whatever she asked for, and he's probably using this as a reference because court slapped him down because of his ignorant attitude towards his wife at that time. So I can understand that he's bitter against the court system. And then he goes on to say, you have no future in China because they keep changing the immigration, the work permit, the visa rules in China. Well, they do that in every country. I did immigration work for I don't know how many years, and they were forever changing the work permits, the economic applications for permanent residency, the visa issuing regulations. This just happens in every country because the country makes these rules and regulations, these work permits, they're designed to bring people into the country that they need to fill positions, and China is no different than that. So when you get the HB1 visa for students going into the United States, that changes all the time too. I know the permanent resident status applications in Canada, they change all the time. Work permit status in Canada, student permits, visitor visas, who can come in, who can't, how long, all of these things. So if you're looking for a stable place that you don't need all of this stuff, go back to South Africa, and then you're a citizen there and you don't have to worry about it. You're a guest in these countries, and you have no long-term stability. You're not even supposed to be there. You know what I mean? So the idea that he uses that to vilify China just makes no sense. It's just rhetoric. Talks about child abductions. Now, you have to understand, Winston, that child abductions is a worldwide problem. It happens in every country around the world. The United States is big, especially Florida, Texas, and yes, where you live, California, have the highest rates of child abduction in the United States and highest rates in the world. So when you're looking at China and saying, oh, China has child abductions, yeah, they do. So does El Salvador, so does France, Great Britain, Australia, Spain, Norway, Sweden, frickin' Lithuania has child abductions. That's one of the things that is a worldwide problem. Trafficking, sex trafficking, child abduction, all of these things are worldwide problems. So if you're trying to run away to California to get away from where child abductions are, well, you're sort of running towards the beast, not away from the beast, because I would imagine there's probably less in, it's 4 o'clock, there's probably less in China per capita than there is in the United States. But I'm sure that during this COVID-19 epidemic in the States, you're not feeling as safe right now as you used to feel in China. Am I correct, or am I not correct? Is that brandy? You've got 150 some thousand deaths in the country. You've got over 4 million people infected. China now is probably one of the safest places to raise a child in the entire world. Just for the fact that the government there has let it get out of control. Herd immunity, we don't care. Finances are worth more than, and then if you get sick, you've only got the bronze medical insurance at $900 American dollars per month. Oh, ouch, buddy. I break that into Canadian dollars at like 1,350 Canadian dollars. That's a good chunk of change. Is your life better in the United States than it is in China? How much are you paying for rent? How much is your food bill? How much is your insurance bill? You know, some of the things that you say about renting on old cars and renting on motorcycles, riding motorcycles. Yes, I can see that. In Nanning, we can ride motorcycles wherever we want. All you need is a license, a motorcycle, and away you go. Where you were, not so much. So if your whole world revolves around riding a motorcycle at your age, it should revolve around your wife and your child. Should have revolved around the beer girl. See, nobody even knows her name. Just the beer girl. If I treated my wife like that, she would bitch slap me like you wouldn't frickin' believe, and probably divorce me and take me for everything I have. And I hope the beer girl actually did that to you, just for the fact that you treated her with such disrespect. Where was I? I keep ranting and raving about stuff. You know, it's one of the things that I do. And another thing. The school system here is super duper competitive, and yes, it is, and that's why China has some of the smartest graduates in the world in IT, in just about everything. You know, their math skills are amazing. When you look at the statistics of the world, the Chinese students are way up there all the time. Why is that? Because it is so competitive. If you want a mediocre child going through a mediocre school, the United States is a place to be. So there's the good and the bad. The stress on the children is hard for the child. If the child doesn't excel like the others, there's post-curricular activities that they do, and you know, taking upgrading courses and stuff like that. That's normal in China. In the States, not so much. You can sort of glide along. If you got a couple bucks in your pocket, you can get them into a good school later on. They can be whatever they want. Chinese people have no hobbies. All they think about is themselves and money. Haven't you watched any of my, I know you watch some of my videos, but I don't watch any of yours, except for what one of the subscribers says, Gweilo, go look at this one, because like, holy smokes, you know, he's trashing out China, and your sidekick did the same thing. What do you guys say? Oh, let's do a video about leaving China, and then he does one and you do one, and you put it up at the same time. It sort of loses its bang, I guess, but whatever. Chinese don't have hobbies. Have you never been to one of the parks in the morning? People are playing musical instruments. People are dancing. In the evenings, people are dancing. Are these hobbies? Yes. You see children on a regular basis going to ballet, going to English classes. Are these hobbies? Well, the English class is probably educational, whatever. Do you watch people playing badminton and basketball in the park? Sports is a hobby. Have you ever watched people playing cards, or just running, or making videos, taking pictures, photographs? There's people at parks taking photographs of, yes, birds in the park, you know, things like that, just nature and stuff. So when you say that the people in China have no hobbies, they're like anybody else. The idea that there are no birds in China, people have no hobbies in China, oh, no. There is. See, Chinese people are good people. They are not sheep. Your freedom can be taken away in a heartbeat. I wrote some of this stuff down because I actually watched this video. Your freedom can be taken away in an instant. Well, that's happened to a lot of people in the United States too. Probably South Africa, every other country in the world, where people get wrongly accused, go to jail, actually get found guilty in court and go to jail, and then afterwards get found not guilty. Some of them get the death sentence in the United States, get offed, and then they get, sorry, you know what I mean? So the rule of law is a joke in China. Well, the rule of law is a joke in the United States too. When somebody kills somebody and then a couple of years later they're back out on the street. How does that help anybody? You know what I mean? China has been slowly falling apart. Being a failed ESL teacher, how do you know this? I don't, that makes no sense to me, you know what I mean? China ideology, nothing to see here, don't look here. Well, yeah, there's a lot to see in China. There's a lot of good stuff and there's a lot of bad stuff. You just tend to look at the bad stuff because it makes you money on your YouTube channel. And I understand that. You're playing to your crowd, the haters, you know, the slime in China's, the Shreks of the world. And I get that. But why do you have to use such derogatory terms on a whole country when you say you love the people? If you love the people, you would understand that 90% of the people of China believe in their government. So 90% of China is stupid sheep. You've been out of China for over 2 years now. Your identity was a China YouTuber, but now you no longer live in China. Why are you still making videos about China with B-roll that you get off, well, whoever in China? What do they shoot the B-roll for you, or you go to San Francisco, or you go to Chinatown and LA, and you've got a background with some Chinese words, and you make whatever. But you know, the idea is, you're in the United States now. Why don't you do videos about gang violence, South Central Los Angeles? Why don't you do videos about the homeless, the discontent cities of homeless people in Los Angeles? Why don't you look at the bad of Los Angeles rather than the bad in China, a world away? If you can't grow your channel to be something that you can actually observe personally, pretty soon it's just going to fall to rat shit and it's going to be gone. Being relevant in the Chinese YouTube world is a scary thing if your money is made off the Chinese YouTube world. I can understand that. But why such a negative role on the Chinese people and the Chinese government, the Chinese world, the world that I actually love and embrace? My wife does too. Alex from Reportify Media, Matt from Gweilo Nation, Jerry from This Is China, Lee Barrett, Daniel Dumbrell, to all of these people, Blondie in China, Nico, all of these people are wrong. Miriam, all of these people, Lean Around China, all of these people are wrong, and you and your sidekick are right. You know, think about what you're doing. Think about how many positive people there are in China, looking at all of the good things. Look at how many positive people there are making videos about China, showing all of the good things. And then there's you and your sidekick showing just the worst of the worst, taking a little thing, twisting it into a big thing, and making money off of it. Why? Why is the question. So I would imagine that you're not coming back to China, and that's okay. China doesn't miss you, doesn't want you back. If you don't want to come back, that's great. But why don't you move on with your life? Why don't you grow? Why don't you see things good and bad about the United States? Places that you're going right now, things that are relevant to you in your life, your wife, your child, your friends, your car, your motorcycle, your travels in Mexico, you know, and I know you're just across the border. I've been there. But the thing is that, why don't you expand what you're doing rather than looking back over your shoulder at what you used to be, what your identity used to be? Because, Winston, that identity isn't yours anymore. Other people have that identity in doing what they feel is the right thing in China at this moment. So expand, get better, do better, quit breaking things down, build things up, try to be more positive. You know what I mean? Like your earlier stuff was great. Everybody, you help people actually learn about China. You started me watching your videos, and I actually started this channel because of your influence, because you were a positive character back then. What you've turned into is an utter disappointment to not only me, but the Chinese people, the Chinese that I know, all of the pro-China YouTubers in this world, and a lot of other YouTubers around the world used to look up to you. Now they don't anymore. You've lost that respect because of what you have become, what you have sold yourself to YouTube, Google LLP, just for the money that you get off your channel. Okay, just a couple of statistics that I wrote down on my phone here. Shenzhen, 13 million, LA, 4 million. So you're looking about, over three times the size in Shenzhen than LA. The unemployment rate in LA, 8.7%. It's probably worse now after COVID. Shenzhen, 2.4%. Think about that. You know, cost of a one-bedroom apartment, LA. This is average. You get shittier areas, you get better areas, it goes up and down, but the average is 1,940 American dollars for a one-bedroom apartment. My God, Martha, that's a whack of cash, you know what I mean? Gotta have a lot of hits on your YouTube channel to make that every month. Better get a second job, put the wife to work. Shenzhen, 647, so it's like 1/3 as much in Shenzhen. What city's safer? They're both exactly the same as the statistics go. But you've got to understand, 3 times the population, buddy. So it's 1/3. You know, it's one of those things that, what has China given you? It's given you an identity. It gave you a way out of South Africa, which is obviously a freaking shithole. You know, you should be thankful for that. It gave you 2 wives. You screwed up the first one by disrespecting that girl immensely in front of the whole world. Not just in front of you and your friends, in front of, you disrespected her in front of everybody that watched your YouTube channel. And there was a lot of people that did that. You should be embarrassed, and you should be, well, you should be really embarrassed about it. If somebody did that to my sister, I would track them down, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I don't know why her family didn't do that. But that's water under the bridge. You probably paid in court on that. You know what I mean? So one of those things. So you got your past wife and your future wife out of it, and a kid out of that future wife. You know, so China gave you a lot more than you gave China. And the way that you reciprocate that is that you vilify it. You make it look like the worst place in the world. You make the government and the people, the stupid sheep, yes, those people, look really bad. And you should be embarrassed. If I were you, I'd be embarrassed. And one of these days, if the United States revokes your work permit, finding out that it's bogus or whatever, and I'm pretty sure that that'll happen sooner or later. It's just the way it is in the States. Then what are your options? South Africa or China? Canada? It's freaking cold in Canada. You know, there's lots of places to go around the world. When you leave the United States, are you going to badmouth the United States like you did China? Where do you go from here? Anyway, that's a rant, a real rant, because I watched this and I thought, what an ignorant way to make a video and to make money, rather than you know, tearing down the Chinese people like he did. If you like this video, but you probably won't. And yeah, I'm talking to you, Winston. If anybody likes this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Push that share button. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. And whatever you do, don't forget to put a couple of dollars on the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Poor rural Chinese children. They just need a helping hand. We can give them that helping hand. Help me help them. Thanks for watching. Be a good person. Bye now.